Hello, it's a new month. Pod is best for UK here. Happy November the 1st. Now, I'm going to be looking at StarQuake, which is actually on the Spectrum from Retro Games Carousel. But what I'm planning on doing this month is trying to come away from HDMI capture with modern devices, and I'm going to try. I'm not going to be very successful, I know it. I'm going to try and get my vintage Spectrum, and maybe the +2, the grey +2, working on analog capture later on in the month. So the first few videos you might see during this month will be on the Spectrum from Retro Games, which is a great system, to be honest. It's a good modern solution, but it is emulation. What I want to try and do is try and get my actual vintage setup working again. The trouble with the vintage setups that I've got, or the capture hardware I've got, a lot of it isn't compatible with modern Windows, so I do have to go through hoops to try and get sort of like direct capture from these vintage systems. So this is why sometimes I will now favour HDMI capture devices over using the actual vintage hardware, but I don't want that to be the focus of this channel, because to be honest with you, I like capturing my games on the actual vintage hardware rather than emulation or HDMI devices. I think it just gives it a more pure, authentic vintage look. So if anyone's got any suggestions of any decent like just the normal RCA or even SCART, actually SCART RGB will be better, capture devices that will work on Windows 11 or Linux, let me know in the comments, or even Mac OS actually, because I do use Macintosh computers as well. Let me know in the comments. But yep, so anyway, without rambling on too much, this is StarQuake. It's already on the carousel, so there's no point in me downloading it. So thank you to David Holloway on social media for suggesting this one. I really do appreciate that. I remember this game, I've played this game many times. Just in case you didn't know, on the Spectrum by Retro Games, if you go to spacebar on the keyboard itself, you can, no, that's the wrong one actually. I'm sure there's a way of looking at the, yeah, that's it, Q. Tells you your basic controls. There's this, and special actions if there's any. Home and no, that's just to, yeah, okay, so let's have a look at Spectrum StarQuake to start us off in the month. Right, okay, so as we're running on the Spectrum rather than a vintage Spectrum, to be honest, the vintage Spectrum, it would have, if it was a 48K model, this would also sort of apply, unless you've got a Kempson or some sort of interface 2 joystick plugged in. QARPM, you can define a keyboard. What is it? OPAQM. Yes, so yeah, I'm not sure why M was the preferred over spacebar. I think it might have been because the spacebar on the original Spectrum is all the way over to the right, where the M is slightly, it's not the center, but it's slightly more to the left. But yeah, let's go for the game. So this is not going to give me enough time to read it, is it? Touchdown in a minute, prepare for mission StarQuake. Crash, bang, smash. Oh, I told you, they never do, they never give me enough time. Right, okay, so yeah, this is a typical run-of-the-mill vintage Spectrum. I have played this game many times. I used to own it as a kid on cassette actually. It's one of them games where it's just got so much charm. It's definitely Spectrum. It plays well on the rubber keys actually. Just replaying it now. I think I'd rather play this on the rubber key keyboard than even a joystick. It just plays really well. Now, the one thing about this game that was weird, but it was kind of cool as well. Every time you press down, you got these like lifting platforms. You only got a certain amount, but that was quite cool. It was quite a unique thing on the game. So you'd think that would pick up the item by pressing down, but no, it raises you one. Oh. Okay, so press the wrong button now, I think. M fires. Now, I never did know what to do on this game. Looks like we need some sort of password. that sort of reminds me of a game called Deja Vu. That was like a Crash Magazine special. Maybe they got the inspiration from this. Okay, more codes and stuff. Watching out for these baddies here. Can you pick up this? Yes, you can. These sort of type of games are typical, especially in the sort of early life of the Spectrum. The Spectrum 48 models especially. Oh, you fuck! I presume the programs were like sort of playing around with sprites, and the system has no hardware sprites, so they were just playing around with what they could do with the hardware. And of course, for 1982, the Spectrum 48 16K was very powerful for its time. Yeah, I could see where Deja Vu, that game I was talking about earlier, has got its inspiration from. If you've never played Deja Vu, check out my other videos. I have got a video of Deja Vu and Deja Vu the remix somewhere on my channel. And it was a Crash Magazine exclusive game, and it was bloody brilliant. Oh, you fuck! So yeah, absolutely fantastic game to start us off on the Game of the Day for November. Like I said earlier in the video, not all of the games will be based on the Spectrum. I know some of you out there are probably thinking, I wish I was, maybe, because you might want to see how the Spectrum performs in different games. But what I'm trying to do for this month is trying to sort of like get more into the vintage hardware and actually run it on the actual vintage chips. I have got working Spectrums, it's just the capturing is the problem. So yeah, that's expect later on in the month, if you're still subscribed to my channel, expect later on in the month the picture might be a bit more fuzzy than this, because this is a perfect HDMI capture. And yep, so I'm going to give StarQuake, thank you for the suggestion from David Holloway, a massive 9 out of 10. I think it's a great way to start off also on Game of the Day for November. If you've got any game suggestions for Spectrum, let me know. Make them as obscure as possible, because I've covered most Spectrum games by now. I've been doing Game of the Day for a long time. To be honest, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. I've been on there since 2006. Wow. So yeah, if you've got any game suggestions, let me know in the comments, and I'll try and facilitate them as best as I can. And yep, so thank you for watching. Have a pleasant rest of your evening, whatever you're doing. 1st of November and all that. So oh yeah, by the way, it's about 5 million, maybe 4 million seconds until Christmas Day, just to put that into perspective. So thank you for watching. Bye.